Good morning, my dear students. Today, in geography, we are going to start a new chapter, that is manufacturing industries. Children, let's see what we are going to study in this chapter. In this chapter, we are going to study about the importance of manufacturing, contribution of industries to the national economy, classification of industries, agro-based and mineral-based industries, and industrial pollution and environmental degradation. Now, children, what is manufacturing? Production of goods in a large quantity after processing from raw material to more valuable product is called manufacturing. Children, once on the occasion of Diwali, Harish went to a market with his parents. They purchased shoes and clothes for him. His mother purchased utensils, sugar, tea, and diya. Harish observed that the shops in the markets were flooded with items for sale. He wondered how so many items could be made in such a large quantities. His father explained that shoes, clothes, sugar, etc. are manufactured by the machines in a large industries. Some utensils are manufactured in a small industries, while items like diyas are made by the individual artisans in a household industry. Children, manufacturing is the production of goods for use or the sale using labor and machine, tools, chemicals and biological processing or formulation. The term may refer to a range of human activities from handicap to high tech, but it is commonly applied to the industrial production in which raw materials are transformed into finished goods on a large scale. Such finished goods may be used for manufacturing other more complex products such as aircraft, household appliances, or automobiles, or sold to the wholesaler who in turn sells them to the retailer who sells them to the end to the consumers. Children, production of goods in a large quantities after processing from raw materials to more valuable products is called manufacturing. Children, do you know that the paper is manufactured from the wood, sugar from sugar cane, iron and steel from iron ore, and aluminium from bauxite? Do you also know that some types of clothes are manufactured from yarn, which itself is an industrial product? People employed in the secondary activities manufacture the primary material into finished goods. Children, listen this once again. People employed in the secondary activities manufacture the primary material into finished goods. The workers employed in steel factories, car, textile industries, etc. fall into this category. Some people are employed in providing services. In this chapter, we are mainly concerned with the manufacturing industry which falls in the secondary sector. The economic strength of a country is measured by the development of manufacturing industries. Now children, importance of manufacturing. Manufacturing sector is considered the backbone of development in general and economic development in particular, mainly because manufacturing industries not only help in the modernizing agriculture which forms the backbone of our country, they also reduces the heavy dependence of people on the agricultural income by providing them job in the secondary and the tertiary sectors. Industrial development is a precondition for eradication of unemployment and poverty from our country. Means if we want to eradicate unemployment and poverty from our country, we have to develop our industrial sector. This was the main philosophy behind public sector industries and joint sector venture in India. It has also aimed at bringing down the regional disparities by establishing industries in tribal and backward areas. Export of the manufactured goods expands trade and commerce and brings in much needed foreign exchange. Then, countries that transform their raw materials into a wide variety of furnished goods of a higher value are prosperous. India's prosperity lies in the increasing and diversifying its manufacturing industries as quickly as possible. Children, once again, I am repeating the importance of manufacturing industries. Listen it very carefully and try to learn this. Manufacturing sector is very important and is considered as the backbone of development. Why children? Why so? Because manufacturing industries helps in modernizing agriculture, which forms the backbone of our economy. Then manufacturing also reduces the heavy dependence of people on agricultural income by providing them jobs in the secondary and the tertiary sectors. Industrial development helps in removal of unemployment and poverty. It also aims at bringing down regional differences by establishing industries in backward areas, and export of manufactured goods expands trade and commerce. Children, we say that agriculture and industry are not exclusive of each other. They move hand in hand. How? Children, they move hand in hand. For example, the agro industries in India have given a major boost to the agriculture by raising its productivity. They depend on the latter for the raw material and sell their products such as irrigation pumps, fertilizers, insecticides, pesticides, plastic and PVC pipes, etc. to the farmers. Thus, development and competitiveness of manufacturing industries has not only assisted agriculturists in increasing the production but also made the production process very efficient. Children, in the present day world of globalization, our industries need to be more efficient and competitive. Self-sufficiency alone is not enough. Our manufactured goods must be at par in quality with those in the international market. Only then we will be able to compete in the international market. Now children, once again, listen it very carefully. How agriculture and industry go hand in hand. First we will see the contribution of agriculture to industry. Agriculture to industry, children. Agriculture provides raw material to industry such as jute, cotton, sugarcane, etc. Then it also acts as a source of capital formation which can be utilized in industry. And it provides food to the industrial workers. Now we will see the other way. The contribution of industry to agriculture. Industry provides inputs to the agriculture such as fertilizers, pesticides, tractors, etc. Then it provides infrastructural facilities and it can absorb surplus laborers and workers of agriculture and reduces the pressure on agriculture. Now, contribution of industry to the national economy. Children, over the last 2 decades, the share of manufacturing industries has stagnated at 17% of GDP. Out of total of 27% for the industry, which include 10% for mining, quarrying, electricity and gas. Children, this is much lower in comparison to some East Asian economies where it is 25 to 35%. The trend of growth rate in manufacturing over last decades has been around 7% per annum. The desired growth rate over the next decade is 12%. Since 2003, manufacturing is once again growing at the rate of 9 to 10% per annum. With appropriate policy intervention by the government and renewed efforts by the industry to improve productivity, economists predict that manufacturing can achieve its target over the next decade. Children, the National Manufacturing Competitive Council has been set up with this objective. Why we have set up NMCC? So that we can develop the manufacturing industries. Children, now location of industries. Industrial location are complex in nature. Children, this we can divide into two parts: geographical factors and non-geographical factors. In geographical factors, the important things which are needed are availability of raw material and water and good climatic conditions. And in the non-geographical factors, availability of electricity, cheap and skilled laborers, transport and communication facilities, market, capital investment, then suitable government policies. Children, it is rarely possible to find all these factors available at one place. Consequently, manufacturing activities tend to locate at the most appropriate place where all the factors of industrial locations are either available or can be arranged at the lower cost. After an industrial activity starts, urbanization follows. Sometimes industries are located in or near the cities. Thus, industrialization and urbanization go hand in hand. Cities provide markets and also provide services such as banking, insurance, transport, labor, consultants, financial advices, etc. to the industry. Many industries tend to come together to make use of the advantages offered by the urban centers known as agglomeration economies. Gradually, a large industrial agglomeration takes place. Children, once again, listen this very carefully. The ideal location of an industry. Children, the location of the factory is influenced by the government policies, availability of raw material, labor, capital, power, and market facilities. And industry market linkage. Industries are also located around the places where markets are available because it provides services such as banking, insurance, transport, labor, consultants, and financial advices, etc. Now, children, classification of industries. Children, list the various manufactured products you use in your daily life, such as LED, LCD, laptop, electric bulb, vegetable oil, cement, petrol, scooters, medicines, and so on. If we classify the various industries based on a particular criteria, then we would be able to understand their manufacturing better. Industries may be classified on the basis of raw material, on the basis of their main role, on the basis of capital investment, on the basis of ownership, and now we will start with the on the basis of source of raw material. On this base, we can divide this into two, agro-based and mineral-based. Children, agro-based industries derive their raw material from agriculture. They are generally provide employment in rural areas. They mostly produce consumer goods. For example, sugar, jute, textile, vegetable oil, etc. And mineral-based industries, these industries derive their raw material from minerals. They usually provide employment both in rural and the urban areas, and these industries produce both consumer as well as value-based goods. For example, iron and steel, cement, aluminium, machine tools, etc. Next, according to their main role, it can be divided into two. The first one is basic or a key industry, and the second one is consumer industry. Children, basic or a key industry are the industries which supply their product as a raw material to the other industries. For example, iron and steel, copper smelting, aluminium smelting, etc. And the consumer industries, these are the industries which provides goods for direct consumers use. For example, sugar, toothpaste, paper, fans, etc. Next, on the basis of capital investment. On the basis of capital investment, it is divided into two, small scale industries and large scale industries. Children, if the investment is less than 1 crore, then it is known as small scale industries. And if the investment is more than 1 crore, then it is known as large scale industries. Then on the basis of ownership, it is divided into public sector, private sector, joint sector and cooperative sectors. Now, the first one is public sector. Children, public sector is owned and operated by government agencies. For example, BHEL, SAIL, etc. Then the private sector, these are owned and operated by individuals or a group of individuals such as TISCO, Bajaj Auto Limited, Tata, Reliance, etc. Then the joint sector industries are those industries which are jointly run by the state and the individual or a group of individuals, such as Oil India Limited is jointly owned by public and private sector. And the fourth one is cooperative sector. Cooperative sector industries are owned and operated by producers or suppliers of a raw materials, workers or both. They pool in the resources and share the profit or losses proportionately, such as sugar industry in Maharashtra, the coir industry in Kerala. Now once again, let's have a quick look on the classification of industry. First one, that is on the basis of source of raw material. It is divided into agro-based and mineral-based industries. Then the next one, according to their main role, it is divided into basic or a consumer industry. On the basis of capital investment, it is divided into small scale and large scale industries. Then on the basis of ownership, it is divided into public, private, joint sector and cooperative sectors. And the bulk and the weight of raw material and finished good, we can divide this into heavy industries or light industries. Heavy industries such as iron and steel, light industries that use light raw material and produce light goods such as electrical industries. That's all for today, children. Thank you and have a nice day. Now once again, let's have a quick look on the classification of industry. First one, that is on the basis of source of raw material. It is divided into agro-based and mineral-based industries. Then the next one, according to their main role, it is divided into basic or a consumer industry. On the basis of capital investment, it is divided into small scale and large scale industries. Then on the basis of ownership, it is divided into public, private, joint sector and cooperative sectors. And the bulk and the weight of raw material and finished good, we can divide this into heavy industries or light industries. Heavy industries such as iron and steel, light industries that use light raw material and produce light goods such as electrical industries. That's all for today, children. Thank you and have a nice day.